Hi, I'm Tim. Join me in this video as we unbox, take a look at, and test fly the SF260 RC model airplane with 4 channels. Let's get to it. This is the SF260. It's really a model of the Marchetti Italian military trainer aircraft. First flown in the mid-1960s, a high-performance trainer, goes about 280 miles an hour. They don't use the term Marchetti in the box. I don't know if there's a trademark issue or whatever, but that's what it is. That's what's modeled after. It's a nice little airplane. This is pretty much how it came out of the box. Even the propeller is installed. The only thing you have to do, we'll go over this, is put the landing gear into the slots. And that is essentially about it. Everything is just like this. So let's take a look at the exterior of the box and a little bit more discussion on this airplane. As a reminder, there are chapters in the timeline and there is a purchase link in the description if you'd like to purchase your own SF260. I generally like to take a look at the box. These ready-to-fly models come in, just get a feel for what they're looking at. There is a gyro system installed. It looks like it's going to work pretty good. We'll demonstrate that here on the when we power it up. There's a one-key U-turn. I'm not too thrilled about that, but it's in there. 2.4 gigahertz radio, EPP foam, and it is in fact ready to fly. So that is correct on that. There are 2 different color schemes. I have the yellow one, the red one, and that's really it on the box we need to be worried about. Now normally I will do an unbox to show you all the bits and pieces. However, this is how it comes out of the box. As I mentioned before, we just have to put the landing gear into the slots. I put a dab of 5-minute epoxy just to fix them in place, but they look like good landing gear for that. And the propeller is installed. This came, other additional things is there's a charger for the battery. There are 2 400 milliamp batteries included in mine. There's a cord. I have no idea what this is for, but it's here. There is the propeller, and it's a clip-on, snap-on arrangement for the propeller. That way they don't damage the motor if it gets to the ground. An extremely basic, simple transmitter, which is really all you need, 2.4 gigahertz. A nice plus in the back, there are 4 AA batteries. The AA batteries come with it. So this is on here, and you simply turn it on, and you have just your standard 4-channel controls with a trim. So everything is there, and it's really quite complete for the kit. This is the instruction manual. Normally I'll go through it in a little bit of detail. However, it's a common instruction manual for a series of airplanes that come like this, because they mention a P-39 and things like that. It's not a bad manual. It covers things. Realize there'll be some things described that are not part of your airplanes. It's for a range of aircraft. But again, the plane is so simple, it comes so complete, you really don't have to worry about it too much. And just a few things for gyro calibration and how the flight control should work if you're, no kidding, a beginner for this type of model. I'm not sure this is suitable for a beginner. I've not flown it yet, but just looking at it, it's not a featherweight. It's got a little bit of weight. I don't see a super huge wing here, so I think it'll fly. I know it'll fly, but it's probably going to fly a little bit faster than a trainer. So maybe a second or third airplane, but probably not a trainer for this. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and power it up and just see how the controls work. The model's powered up. Just for a little bit of awareness, I'm going to leave the battery out so I know that it is connected to the battery. So again, it's a very simple thing. You plug in the battery first, you turn on this, it blinks for a little bit. When it recognizes, binds itself, or it is already binded, but it connects to the receiver. This is steady right here. And then everything operates here. So let me show how the controls operate. Also, the one switch you're going to have to look at is this toggle switch here. And all the way back is expert. In the middle is intermediate flyers. And in front is a beginner flyer. As a safety feature, if you put the throttle up, nothing happens. You hear that beep. You bring it down, that activates the model, and now everything works, okay, to include the stabilization system. If we look at the elevator, when the model goes down, the elevator goes up a little bit, trying to stabilize it. The other thing you can see with this switch is the amount of control throw. So here is up and down in the beginner, very little. Let me go to up. When I go to the middle, see how that goes a little bit more? When I go to expert, it's more throw. So what those switches do is just give you a lot more throw. Notice that the stabilization, you can see the controls moving as the model moves. You can see the ailerons as it tries to stabilize itself with that movement. So again, that's a good feature to have. I'm not sure this is enough throw. I plan on my first flight to be in the middle position. I think that'll be sufficient, and that's what we'll do. So again, we have elevator, we have the rudder, the nose gear does not steer because it's fixed, and then the ailerons right there are for the bank. And again, ailerons are normally out here. This is where the flaps be. The reason they're in there is just much easier for the servo linkage to go there underneath. Again, the battery does have a hatch. It fits right in there. There's plenty of room. So when we fly, we'll go ahead and use that. And as I mentioned, the motor looks like it gives plenty of thrust. So that's the description of the airplane. I'm satisfied that it's ready for flight. I just thought of checking the CG, the center of gravity. It's not in the directions. 25% back to the leading edge for a straight wing like this should be adequate. So I put the battery in the hatch. I've shut that, so that's in the proper place. And it balances pretty closely to where I would expect the center of gravity. Again, with these almost ready to fly models, you don't have much ability to move things around to make the CG correct. It's designed in, and that is the case here. So, as I mentioned before, I think it's a cute little model. I think it's going to be fun. It should be easy to see, and we'll just wait for a good day at the RC field and take it for a test flight. Here are a few views of the model at the field. Just a very nice presentation, good finish, good paint scheme, good to see in the air. Everything's tight. With these gyro stabilized models, there can be no slop in the control surfaces. Otherwise, the whole effort is not working. Very nice model. So it's a nice day here at the field. Light winds down the runway. Everything checks out okay. We'll go ahead and plug in the battery, do a control check. Center of gravity is okay in this airplane. Take it up for a test flight. I think I'm going to try a ground takeoff. Nose gear is not steerable, but it looks pretty straight. We'll give that a shot. If not, we'll do a hand launch, and we'll see how that works. Wish me luck. Battery's plugged in. Let's do a quick control check. And elevator, rudder, ailerons, and throttle. Take it for test flight now. Here's the very first takeoff, right down the runway or across it, and just the minute I took off, I said, this is going to be a good model. Plenty of power, and just very smooth and stable on the controls. It was responsive, and when you took your hands off the stick, it by and large kept its attitude where it was going. Just very comfortable, positive control all throughout the flight. As I mentioned, easy to see with the paint scheme, and it just was a fun airplane to fly. We're coming in for a landing, turning to the left, just a very positive control, even at the slower airspeeds. And with these smaller models, we reduce the power, it comes down quickly, and we're on the ground. Well, we just finished the test flight, first flight for me of the SF260. I couldn't be any happier. This is it's just an excellent flying model. What you saw the ground takeoff, there's no problem there. It was in the mid position, not the beginner, not the expert. They gave stabilization, but enough control throw. I was in full control the entire time. I was flying at about a third or less throttle just to keep it within the camera range. There was never any doubt for the controls, ailerons, elevator, everything was there. You might have seen a few little jumps up and down. That's just the wind going up and down. Easy to see with the paint scheme, just super happy with this airplane. It absolutely flies wonderfully. Good luck with yours.